team. Today we're here going to work on Excel Chapter 3. The file we download is called Exploring EO3 Grader A1. When you save it, it'll have students in your name line. You need to file save as and put your last name there. Let's get started. Step 2. Select the range A4 to A10, comma, F4 to G10 and create a cluster column. So we're going to select A4, which is our title, okay, all the way down to A10, so our titles of our genre. Now it's asking us to select a different column that's not connected. Hold your control button, take your mouse, and then highlight cells F4 to G10. So that's going to take us across category of totals and percents of months. Holding the control button enables you to continue highlighting different components of your table. Now create a cluster column. Now we're going to go in search of our chart. So we're going to click the Insert tab, which is the third tab on Excel. And we're going to come on all the way over here to the Charts panel. Now, Excel will recommend some charts, but also if you don't know what a cluster chart is, if you kind of hold your, it's a cluster column, I apologize. If you hold your mouse over, it'll show you, here's a column or bar charts. Here is line or area charts. Here's pie charts. So you can hold your mouse and discover what these different tools are. We want to go into the column charts, and we're actually looking for a cluster column. Right here, these are 2D, 3D bar, but we want to go to more column charts down here at the bottom. And then that'll bring up all charts. And we've got lines, pies, bars, but remember we're focusing on column. And here's our first choice right here of cluster column. So we're going to double click that. The second part of our step 2 is once you've created a cluster column chart, which we have, way to go, we want a line on the secondary axis of the combo chart. So we're basically going to add another component of the chart. We click on the chart itself. And I double clicked. That brought up the design toolbar, which is exactly what we're looking for. Now we want to come over to the type panel, and we're wanting to change chart type because remember, we're trying to add that line of secondary access, okay? So we click change chart type, and when we do that, we have the option down below of combo. So I'm going to select combo, and then we want to come over here to this second choice. Right now we have a cluster column line chart, but we want a cluster column line on secondary access chart. Then we look down below, and the cluster column is recording our category totals, okay? And then the line we have up here at the top is recording the percentage of each month. And you can see how it's up at the top of our category totals. So the secondary component, or the line, your secondary access, is your percent of the month. All right. To wrap this up, we're going to click OK. And you can see how your chart immediately changes to show the category totals in blue, and your category totals are right there. I'm going to close over here so you can see this. Category totals are your blue cluster columns. And then your percentage of the month, I'm going to move over just a little bit more so you can see that. Your percentage of the month statistics are your orange cluster lines, all right, or your orange line, your secondary access line. So Great job. Back with Excel, chapter 3, and we're on question 3. Position the chart. Here's our cluster chart with a secondary axis that we made. That was exciting. And we're going to position the chart to start in cell 813. So we want the chart to end up right over here in this yellow spot. And I'm going to, you'll notice my mouse changes as I move across different components. When I come over here onto the chart, if I grab in the white area, I can get that double set of arrows. They kind of make a cross. I click and I hold that, and I'm going to come over here and snug it right into A13 and let go. I'm going to say, because I don't want to lose what we've already done, and change the height of the chart to 3.7 and change the width of the chart to 6 inches. Now we're going to do the second part of step 3, which is to change the height to a specific 3.5. Now you can always adjust the height by grabbing a corner of a chart and moving it in or out. You don't want to grab the middle of any side because you'll throw off your proportion of the picture or the chart. But if you grab a corner, you can resize. But we're being asked specifically to change the height to 3.5 inches. So we're still in Chart Tools. If that's gone away for you, you can double click your chart and Chart Tools will appear. We're going to do the Format tab, and then we're going to come over here to the Size panel, and we want to change our height, and I'm just going to highlight what's there now and type 3.5 and click Enter. And we're being asked to change the width to 6 inches, so it should grow pretty good. 6 and hit Enter, and now we have completed step 3. Step 4. Change the chart title to November 2018 downloads by genre. And we're going to do that. We're going to double click in chart title. We're going to highlight what's there. We can hand type it, or in my case, I just copied and pasted it. Apply black text 1 font. So I'm going to highlight my title one more time. I'm going to go back to the Home tab. I'm going to go to my fonts dialog box where the red A happens to be on my computer. And it's asking us to find black text 1. So if you hover your mouse over the different colors, you'll see that it'll pop out and tell you if it's blue or if it's green. But up here, the second choice happens to be black text 1 font to the value access title. And our value access title, our vertical value access title. Vertical is your up and down, horizontal is your left to right. So horizontal are our labels for each one of our genres, but our vertical is our up and down values. And right now, the vertical axis chart, the vertical axis values are these. If you hover your mouse over the different areas, it will tell you. If my mouse will slow down, this is a secondary vertical value access. So in my mind, we should also make that black text font. So I'm going to click that and go back to my black, and you'll see how the numbers start to get a little bit darker. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to double click that. As I hover my mouse, see it gives you vertical value access, which is what it asks us to change to black text font 1. And I clicked that once, and I came over here and I highlighted my black. That's the end of step 4. I'd save again. Step 5. Add a primary value access title and type number of downloads. So everything's clickable. We can also click the values. But one thing we can do too is we can double click our chart. And in so doing that, that gives us our chart tools of design and format. But it also gives us this neat little chart element. We click the plus, and there are our chart elements for access titles, which is what we're trying to focus on right now. And so I'm going to click on access titles, and it gives us the vertical value access title here to type in and the vertical value access here. So percentage of monthly downloads and number of downloads. So I'm going to click over here on the left vertical access and I'm going to highlight that. And I'm going to type number of downloads. Okay, so I just highlighted it and started typing, and that's our first. And add a secondary value access, which is over here, this access title. And again, I'm going to just highlight that, and I'm going to type percentage of monthly downloads. Now, that is a title for both of our vertical value access, and it asks us to apply black text 1 font to both value access. And that's pretty much what we just did. We can highlight this. We can go back to home, and remember the black we picked before, it's already in queue. If you don't know which one that is, you can hover your mouse over, but black text 1 is there. And now that we've already used it, we can highlight here, and it's already in our text font pickup, and we click there. And that is the end of step 5. 6, remove the legend. I had to open my Excel just a little bit bigger so you could see our legend, which is down here at the bottom. If you highlight, it should tell you that's what it is. There it is. There it is. Oh. I am going to click on it once, and then I'm just going to go up to my delete button up in the top right hand corner of my keyboard, and it's gone. Step 6 is complete. Please save. Step 7, add data labels for the percent of month line. So over here on the right is our percent of month legend, and this orange line is what we're going to try to add data labels to. If we click the chart itself, our chart elements box will pop up, and we click that plus. Then we have come down here to chart elements, and we click data labels, and you'll see that it's giving you values for both the number of downloads and the percentage of monthly downloads. And we're looking for the percentage of monthly downloads. So we're going to click that arrow, and it's also asking us to position the data labels above. On data labels, I'm going to go to more options. And over here in value, I'm going to unclick value. And when I do that, the values for the number of downloads go away. I want to come back here and go to data labels again. Oops. I lost them and they brought back. Isn't that fun? I want them on the outside end. And I'm going to go back to my more options and undo that value. So we have that one removed. So I'm in more options. It does not want to click for me. And now we have just the percentages. On step 8, we're asked to select a range from A5 to E11. So we need to go back up to our original data. So A5 to E11. Oops. A5 to E11, which is right there. So we're going to include weekly totals. We're going to have our genre titles, and we're going to include weekly totals. And what I did was I clicked in cell A5 and I dragged my mouse to cell E11. And it says insert sparklines. So we're going to go to the third tab that's called insert, and then we're going to go over to the 6th panel, which is called sparklines. And sparklines is a way to plot our data. So we're going to click line, and what it's asking us to do is select the range that you want to make these data lines for, which we did, A5 to E11. And now you want to insert the lines. And if you'll do it over here in the summary, it's kind of cool. It will give you this small visual indication of your data. So our location range is actually going to be where we'll click H5 to H11, right down here. And that is going to take our data and make little bitty line charts. So for step 8, we click OK, and we have our spark lines. Well done. I'm going to save. Now in step 9, it asks us to apply the sparkline style accent to. So we're going to come up here to, we are in design because we added sparklines, and we're going to click on our pull down menu and look for style accent to. As we hover our mouse over, it tells us which one of these it is. Here's Sparklines 1, here's Sparklines 2, and Sparkline 2 darker 50% happens to be our first one in our second column. And we're going to click that, and it's given us kind of some color. In step 10, it says show the high point of your sparkline markers and make the high point red and the low point blue. So we're going to come up here to marker colors, and we're going to click on high point, and we're going to click our high point as red. So the top point of our graph should give us a red dot. And we're going to come back to highlight markers and go to our low point and make our low point blue. And so our bottom of our graph should be blue. And that's the end of step 10. Select the range A4 to E10. So we're going to click in cell A4. We're going to hold our mouse and go to E10. So we're not grabbing weekly totals down here at the bottom, and we're not grabbing category totals. Create a stacked bar chart. So we're going to go to our insert tab at the top of the course, the third tab over, and then we're going to go to charts, the fourth panel over, and it's asked us to create a stacked bar chart. So when you hover your mouse over, you see that bar charts are the kind of in the middle top, and you click that little arrow to the right, and we're going to go to more column charts, and we are going to select bar, and it asks us to pick a stacked bar. So this is a cluster bar, but over here you can see is the second one is the stacked bar. Then you've got 100% stacked bar, clustered bar, and so forth. But it just asks us to select stacked bar. So that's our second choice above cluster bar. And then it says, we're going to click OK. Once we click that, we're going to click OK. Move the chart to a new sheet. Well, you can cut and paste and move it to a worksheet. We are right now on the data worksheet, but we can also right-click and move chart. So this is a choice. Once you've clicked on the chart, it will let you move it. And we select that, and yes, we want to move it to a new sheet, but look, it gives us some more instructions. Type bar chart for the new sheet name. So we want to say that yes, we want to choose our chart to be placed in a new sheet, and we want to call it a bar chart, which will make a second worksheet for us, and we say OK. And although it appears to disappear, it doesn't. Look down here. You had your data worksheet that you were on before, and now it's taken that data that we highlighted and it moved it to a new worksheet called bar chart, and that is the name for the tab as well as the worksheet name, and that's the end of step 11. Step 12, have a chart title above the bar chart and call it November 18 weekly downloads by genre. And I'm going to just highlight it so I can possibly do it a little bit faster, but maybe not. And I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to click in chart title. I'm going to highlight chart title. And I'm going to go Control V. You are welcome to just highlight and type November 2018 weekly downloads by genre. Apply bold font. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight my new title. I'm going to come back to the home. You can also do this in design. I just always go here. I'm going to click bold and apply blue font color to the bar chart type. So I'm going to come over here to my font and I'm going to click blue, which is this one. It will, as you hover your mouse, tell you which color is which. This is yellow. And I'm going to pick this blue. And that's the end of step 12. I'm going to save. Step 13, apply 11-point font size to the category axis, the value axis, and the legend for the chart. So let's start with the legend. We're going to double click our legend. And of course it brings up the format legend box. And you can make some changes here. Oops. I'm going to go to home. I'm going to go to font size 11, but I didn't highlight. So 1 second. Oh, yes I did. So once I clicked size 11, it changed that for us. But that was just the legend, so we're kind of going backwards. We're going to do the value axis now, which is where our numbers are on the X. If you were to look at an X, Y coordinate grid, your horizontal line would be your X, so we can double click that. And we can come back to home and go to 11. And you'll immediately see your numbers get larger. And we're going to come over here to the category axis, which would be on a Y axis going up and down vertically if you were on your X and Y plane. We're going to come to home and I'm going to go to size 11, which may make it snug. And we're going to save. That's the end of step 13. Now we're moving to step 15, which is to change colors and apply that color 12 to the bar chart. So let's get started. So we're going to come over here to change colors, and we're asked to, I'm going to click on the chart, change colors and go to color 12. That's color 2. Ooh, color 3. Color 4. Color 4. We're on color 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And you can see how when I hover my mouse over a row of color selections, it gives a little reminder of what that is. And we're going to save for step 15. Step 16, apply the default gradient fill in the plot area of the bar chart. So we're over here, we've clicked on the whole chart, and we're going to come over here to our fill bucket, and we're going down to gradient fill, and it doesn't tell us which color to select or to predetermine, so I'm assuming it wants us to stay with those same colors. And that is step 16. I'm going to save again. Step 17, apply landscape orientation for the data worksheet. So don't forget, right now we're in the bar chart worksheet, which is totally fine. I'm going to just save, and then I'm going to come over here and click the data worksheet. All right. So make sure you're in the correct worksheet, and I'm going to go to page layout, and then I'm going to go to orientation, which is on the page setup panel. And I'm going to click landscape, which is going to turn your page. So instead of up and down, your page will be long ways. And that's step 17. Step 18, apply horizontal and vertical center on page options for the data worksheets. So we're still on the data worksheet. And if you come up here to print area and the page layout and the page setup, you can take print setup area, or you can go to the file menu and go to print, and then you can choose, we already have landscape. So we can come to page setup down here at the bottom, double click that, and then that's going to bring you to margins. You can also get there in the page setup for margins. We want to center on the page for horizontal, and we want to center on the page for vertical. Look here, it says horizontally. Vertically, in our instructions say apply horizontal and vertical center on the page. And you can see when it was off earlier, it's kind of giving you a preview in this dialog box. It shows that it put the graph of the data up in the top corner. By us clicking it here, it puts it in the middle of the page horizontally. And by clicking vertically, it puts it in the middle of the page vertically as well. And we click OK. And that's horizontally and vertically centered our data on one sheet of paper. I like to go back and then go ahead and hit my size button. You can also do that through margins. Step 19, ensure that the worksheets are correctly named. We have a bar chart worksheet and we have a data worksheet, both correctly named, and in the following order: bar chart first, which is our first tab, and data worksheet second. Save the workbook, close the workbook, and then submit the workbook as directed. That would be to my IT lab for grading. Thank you. Way to go, team. All right, team. I uploaded mine, and that grade will work. A's and B's get degrees. Now you tell me how you did.